We are on our own. We are on our own. Unemployment, in the pain. For real, can we do something? Can we say something at least? We are on our own. It's globally clear, you need no drone. Then a tiny. How fast we need a revolution.
The people of our nation, Zimbabwe, I come to you once more again today for us to share important developments that are happening in our country. I am going to make this address after the request from several followers of this channel to address in English so that they will be able to pick the news for them to spread them throughout the world. Today, I want to firstly address to you the people of our nation. There is a very dangerous development that happened recently, which is really hating me on the basis that we, the people of Zimbabwe, seem not to be interested on the matter. Few days ago, the South African Magistrates Court made a judgment to the effect of the extradition of one of our own whom we all knew from some time ago, that he has been fighting for the causes of the masses of our people. Wellington Masiwa, popularly known as Comrade Nyokayemabhunu, he has been ruled to be extradited back to Zimbabwe. We all know Comrade Nyokayemabhunu vociferous campaign against Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime and its intention to extend and prolong its life of term of office to 2030. Nyokayemabhunu is remembered by all of us that he was one of those protagonists who stood firm against Emmerson Mnangagwa's shenanigans. We all know that the allegations he is facing in South Africa are purely political. The issue, he was kidnapped by the agencies of the state when he came into contact with them, was for them to facilitate his repatriation to Zimbabwe for the purpose of persecution by Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime. They said that Wellington Masiwa, our comrade Nyokayemabhunu, is wanted back home on the case of fraud. We all know that there is nothing of that sort in Zimbabwe. We all know that they want Nyokayemabhunu for them to charge him with treason because of his agitation for the people of Zimbabwe to stop Emmerson Mnangagwa's pursuit with his agenda to extend his term of office to 2030. Myself as a lawyer, and speaking to you today, I have faced several of those cases under Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime. If you still remember I was alleged to have committed treason when I addressed the people in Mandadzaka in Bikita. And that case did not stand the test of time in the courts of law. They alleged me several cases of inciting public violence. That case did not stand the test of the law. All the cases that they brought before me did not stand the test of the law on the basis that they are politically motivated rather than having anything to do with the dispenser of justice in our country. So we all know that even if they are going to charge Comrade Nyokayemabhunu with treason in Zimbabwe, they are not going to succeed. Even under the court Yamasabuku, they will never succeed under the headman's court on the basis that the essential elements of such a crime will not be able to be proven in our courts of law. So their intention is to get Nyokayemabhunu repatriated and kill him. We, the people of Zimbabwe, went with our business as usual on a daily basis, not bringing this matter to the fore of the people of our nation, that this matter is going to lead to Comrade Nyokayemabhunu's death if we, the people of Zimbabwe, are not going to speak about it. We end up concentrating on extremely trivial issues. Thomas Mapfumo has accepted himself to be bribed, and the entire campaign now centers on Thomas Mapfumo rather than the really matters where the people who have been fighting on the side of the masses of our people are facing persecution. Why would the people of Zimbabwe engross themselves in a debate that does not concern the future of our nation? If a person has made his own decision, an adult of 80 years like Thomas Mapfumo, is not an issue for us as the people of Zimbabwe to spend and expend our energy and time debating it on a daily basis. Nyokayemabhunu is currently facing extradition to Zimbabwe for him to come back to the country and be killed. We are quite about that. Why? Why? Some people are saying, no, we are enjoying the World Cup. Hey, Messi this, hey, Ronaldo this, hey, Mbappe this. Those are billionaires and millionaires who are in pursuit of their lives. But whilst we, the people of Zimbabwe, are suffering, and we are focusing on debate trivial matters and leaving the important matters which the people of Zimbabwe must concentrate on. We are busy discussing Messi and Ronaldo's and Mbappe's while our country is burning. What kind of nonsense is that? A nation which is now having soccer betting as its largest employment duty in our nation. Soccer betting, all the walls are full of soccer bettors. And people think that this is a normal country, and we lose focus by not debating important matters that affects some of our members. Nyokayemabhunu is in trouble. Dear Zimbabweans, we need to raise this matter with all platforms, engagement with the South African authorities, engagement with the SADC heads of state and other concerned institutions that will be able to rescue the young boy from being killed when he comes back to Zimbabwe. We are going to play our part in our own small way to make sure that we save the young man. Saving one of us is at the core of my heart. That's why you realize that I went to prison for 2 years when I did not commit an offense by defending a downtrodden single mother, More Blessing Ali. That is a calling that I have. I defend those people who are objects of oppression by our regime. So, dear Zimbabweans, this is no longer time for us to debate trivial issues. This is now the time for us to really raise matters that are affecting our country. Let's all embark on a campaign against the extradition of Comrade Nyokayemabhunu to Zimbabwe. He has not committed any offense. His offense is defending the masses of our people. And we cannot be kept ourselves watching it. So, dear people, this is a very important matter that I wanted to debate with you today. You also realize and saw it yesterday. When the regime continued on its path of persecution against our people, my chairman, the chairman of the National Democratic Working Group in Matabeleland South, was arrested yesterday. For no any offense except himself saying we must oppose the passage of Constitution Amendment Bill number 3 by Emmerson Mnangagwa into law. This oppressive legislation cannot be allowed to pass in our country. And it was, and it is still his democratic right for him to express his own feelings about this matter. How would you arrest someone on the basis that he says, I am going to act within the confines of the Constitution for us to make sure that this thing is resisted peacefully? You arrest that person and take him to court. What kind of a country are you running? You also heard that 2 members of parliament in Mutare were beaten yesterday by members of the state security agencies of Zimbabwe when they visited Mugadza's office. You heard the MP for Highfields, Mavudzi, and the Chimbaira of Zengeza East were beaten up yesterday when they were just executing their parliamentary duties on a parliamentary portfolio committee outreach program. I also received very sad news that the cowards visited Honorable Lynette Kareni Kore's homestead. 6 men, Mabaunza 6, visiting 1 woman in a GD6. To do what? All those members of parliament who opposed KB 3 in parliament and voted against it are under siege. So watch out. Wherever you go, the regime is impeded by your resistance to endorse the nonsense that was happening in parliament. So we must all be alert, the masses of our people, wherever we are, knowing that the regime is now after attacking us. So I call upon you, the people of Zimbabwe, to remain vigilant. Be vigilant where you are, because the regime is panicking. And you know, when the regime is panicking, it can't do anything. So, with these things, we must be able to make sure that we are all safe and protected. I loved it today when one of my friends said, "Hi, Vawiwa, we have heard many of your addresses. Takuda the way forward. I to the way forward. The second got I naikule. Apa makuda apa ndio nonzi inciting public violence there makuita. Because you want me to give the way forward and not the masses of our people. The masses of our people have already resolved what they want as the way forward for their country. You should never disturb When the voice of the people starts speaking on its own, the masses are organizing themselves without the incitement of anyone. And no one will be able to stop a revolution that germinates from the masses. It can only be disrupted by glory seekers who would want to interfere and interrupt the process which the masses will be carrying out. We all know what the masses have already resolved. And no one is in dispute with what the masses have resolved. So we are with you in your resolution, the masses of our people. We stand with you and we support you. I thank you very much. These are important issues that I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.